everyone. It's Kayla with the Celebration Company. Good evening. I hope you're having a great day. Y'all, today we are doing our mini DIY decor box. We're making our little mini North Pole sign. If you haven't snagged your mini DIY decor box yet, you want to go on and do that because the time is running out. This ends on Friday. You have until Friday to grab yours, okay? And you don't want to miss out on that. So I'm going to be putting it together today. I'm going to be showing y'all how to do this. It's a really easy project to do, but super cute. This would make the most amazing craft night, whether it be with your friends or with your church group, maybe your coworkers. It would make for a really great Christmas party to do with all of your girlfriends. Such a fun thing. And y'all, it's really easy. So it's something that you could teach to your friends, or you could just play this tutorial, and later on when the kit comes in the mail, there's going to be even a shortened tutorial. You could play that and it would be so easy. Y'all, it would be so easy and fun. So I hope that you will grab yours so that you don't miss out on it, okay? So when you hop on, say hello, let me know you're watching. I'm so glad to see y'all today. Happy Wednesday, everyone. What y'all got going on today? Anybody got anything fun going on? Hi, Joan. Hey, Rosemarie. Hello, Phyllis. Good to see you. Hi, Danae. It has been a good one. Thank you, Danae. Y'all, I'm sorry I missed you yesterday. I was babysitting yesterday, and, you know, babies they're a lot, and they need a lot of attention. So I had a 9-month-old yesterday, my niece, all day, and I got some work done, but then it just, you know, I just couldn't get to my live. So unfortunately, I didn't get to it, but I'm here now, and we're going to make our little mini North Pole sign. All right. So if you are a DIY darling, a DIY Decor Box subscriber, our darlings received this for this month. This was their box. We're actually going to be crafting this live tomorrow night in our darling circle. But you can purchase the mini one this month right now until Friday. Okay. If you would like to join, you cannot get this one. It's no longer available, but you can get this one. Okay. This one is available right now. So now's your opportunity. Okay. All right, so we're going to get started. I have gone ahead and spray painted this. Now, that was just for the simple fact of making it quick because I literally just did it a few minutes ago. And I will tell you that painting with white does take several coats. And so I wanted to go on and just spray paint it just to make it easier for us. So this is what I used. I used the Krylon Fusion, but you can use any kind of spray paint on these products. Any kind will work. So we use that. I spray painted the sign and I spray painted these poles. Now it comes with everything you need except for hot glue or super glue, paint brushes, and scissors. Okay, you really don't need many products for this. Most everything is included in your box, so that's really amazing. So we're going to put this thing together. All right. Hi, Desiree. So I went ahead and I painted this white. It is important to paint it. And the reason why, even though it's already white, okay, this is the back so you can see it's already white. The reason why it's important to paint it is because you may get some red on the background. And we want to be able to cover that up if we make a mistake. And so by painting it, you're able to then touch it up. If you don't paint it, you can't really touch it up because it's going to show. Your touch up is going to show. So it's important to get it painted. That way you're able to do some touch ups. Otherwise, it's not going to look very good. Okay, because you're probably going to get some on the background. So we need to be able to touch it up. Hi, Patty. Hello, Teresa. Hey, Ria. Thanks for joining, y'all. So went ahead and painted that. And I have got my paint. It comes with paint. Now, this is a sample box. We have not put all of these together yet, okay? Because this is a pre-order. So this is a test right here to see if this is enough paint or if y'all are going to need more paint or not. So we're going to figure that out today. But it comes with a small pouncer, and it comes with a small pouncer for a reason. And that is because we're going to be using this small pouncer on the surface of this sign right here. So this sign says, "Welcome to the North Pole, established 1863. So we're going to be using this little pouncer on this sign. And the smaller pouncer does the best job for this project. So even one this size is going to make it a little bit more difficult. We want the small one, okay? So that's what we're going to use. That comes in your box, okay? So we'll be using that. And then it comes with your paint. So this is Santa Red. It comes with it in a little container. And this is Deco Art paint, so it's good quality paint. It is not like, you know, kids acrylic paint. This is good quality Deco Art paint that's going to come in your box here. So this is Santa Red and then Silver Morning, the metallic silver color. Thanks for putting that link there. I can also put the QR code up here as well if you all want to scan that. And I do want to tell you as well, we've got some new products on our website that was added yesterday. So go check that out. We've got quite a few new craft products. So I shared some boxes last week, I think it was, or the week before, a bunch of stuff. That stuff's available on the website now. So I'll probably, I'll try and get live at some point sharing some of that stuff with you all. But check it out. Okay. So let's get in here and let's get this going. So it's already painted. I'm going to take my small little pouncer, which happens to fit into my little container here. And I'm just going to dab off some of this paint. I do not want it gloopy on here, because if it's gloopy, then it's going to make a mess, and we don't want that. So we want to remove some of the paint so that it's not super thick on our pouncer. And then you're just going to take this and you're going to hold it upright, nice and straight, and you're just going to very gently pounce onto our sign. Now, I don't put a lot of pressure, because the more pressure you put, you're going to get onto that background. We're trying to bring all of these raised features out. And so we want to highlight all those raised features with the red. So I am just going to very gently, and you just kind of build it up, just very gently press. And it helps if you keep your pouncer even. So it helps if you've got your pouncer on both sides of something instead of having one little thing going through the middle. So if you're able to position your pouncer to where it's kind of even over, you know, other surfaces, then you can just pounce that color right on to those words, just like that. And it brings out all of those details. Thank you, Teresa, for doing that. Hi, Carol. Hey, Marcia. I'm not sure who all I said hello to. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. No, we're not selling these each month, Patty. They are a one-time deal. They are a one-time offer. So yes, if you like this, you probably need to grab it, because it's not going to be available next month. It is a one-time special thing. It's a holiday box, a mini holiday box. So we're just going to very gently, like I said, I'm just building it up. So trying my hardest not to get any on that background. But again, that's the reason why we painted it. white is so that we could touch it up on the background. Now, I know that I used spray paint on this, but we can still use that spray paint to touch it up. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in order to do that. I'm going to get a little bit more paint. Yes, Carol, I did. Hey, Joan. Just very gently, like I said, just keep, going over it until you build up that coverage. And, maybe you don't want it completely covered, and that's fine too. Maybe you want it to be a little sparse to make it look like it's aged or something. You can do that as well. All right, so we've got the North Pole. And so now I'm going to do you too, Carolyn. Happy hump day. Thank you, Kinsley. Hey, Virginia. All right, let's go over the rest of this. So we're going to do the welcome to. And you just, just be very gentle. Sometimes I might take my pouncer and just kind of turn it, especially on these smaller parts, so that I've got less surface area, so I make less of a chance of it getting onto the background. Okay, so welcome to the North Pole. Then I'm going to go around the edge because there's a little bit of like a frame around the edge. And we want to highlight that frame as well. So I'm just going to very gently, again, just kind of press all the way around the edge, and you can see how just that raised area is getting highlighted, just like that. Yes, Jennifer, they're a one-time deal. Hey, Belinda. One-time offering available right now. This is a great way to do a fun Christmas craft that you don't have to plan for, you don't have to prep, you don't have to get all the supplies. It's a way to have a Christmas party, a Christmas crafting party with your friends, with your church family, with your sisters, your kids, whoever. And you don't have to plan it all. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this. We're going to do a second coat, and then we'll touch up the background, okay? Because I want it to be nice and opaque, and right now it just kind of looks like, it's been sponged on, and we want it to look opaque, okay? So this is what one coat looks like, but you can see all those details come out, and look how easy that was. So it's not a matter of taking a paintbrush and having to try and just get those areas. We are doing this an easy way. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hi, Jane. All right, so we're going to go over it again to get it a little bit stronger and a little bit more opaque. Just trying to cover a little bit more. And again, I'm putting paint on my pouncer, but then I'm just kind of removing it so that we don't have it caked on, because then you're definitely going to make a mess with it. You're definitely going to get paint on the background. You're going to get paint on the background anyways, but it's not going to be a lot. And that's the main thing. We just don't want to get a lot of paint. And again, you can take your pouncer and just kind of turn it to its side occasionally if you need to be a little more detailed in spots. I'm not pressing hard. I'm just letting the pouncer touch, but I'm not pressing hard. I'm just barely pressing down. Okay, So we'll just repeat that on all of these words. I'm going to turn it this way for these. Okay. Established. All right, and then we just go around the edge. Just like that. And that is it for the sign. Okay, so we're gonna just touch it up now. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna dry it, and then we're gonna touch it up. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna take my spray paint here that I used on this project. Now, if you've painted it with acrylic paint, then you don't have to do this. You can just use the acrylic paint that you used. But if you spray painted it, we want to make sure we're touching it up with the same color of paint. And so if I just take some white acrylic paint, that's going to show up on here. So I'm going to take my spray paint, I'm going to take a cup, and I'm going to spray this into that cup, and I'm going to get some spray paint in there. And then I can just take a little brush and I can just use this to touch up wherever I got some red. Okay. And you may have to do it a couple of times, but you just get a little bit of paint in there, and then just use a little detail brush is all I'm using to just go over that and clean it up a little bit. Wherever I'm seeing red paint that I don't want to see, just rub over it with your spray paint or your acrylic paint, whatever you used. And it's very easy to touch it up. You can, do as much or as little as you want to until you're satisfied with how it looks. So I'm going to set that aside, and I may come back and do another layer. Makes a big difference, doesn't it, Teresa? Okay, so that's that part. Let's move on to our base. Now for our base, we are going to paint. We did not spray paint this white. Okay, we're not doing that with the base because we're going to paint this different colors. So I'm going to grab a detail brush, a couple of little brushes. Actually, I think I'm going to use this one here. Okay, so I'm going to use this one here. This comes in our 10-pack brushes. And I'm going to open this up. We're going to grab this silver. This is Silver Morning. And I'm going to paint this little raised square here in this silver. Now we'll have to do 2 coats of the silver. And I'm not painting the flat. I'm painting it with red. So I am just going to just trim this in. It doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. I mean, it's a tiny little space that you're working with here, so you're not, it's not like you're, painting an 8-foot long wall. Okay. So there's the first coat. Let me dry this really quick, and we're going to do a second coat. And it covers pretty well. The second coat I think looks really great on the white. You could do 3 coats if you wanted. Definitely need to do 2 coats. All right. So we've got that painted. All right, we're gonna dry this, and then the flat part we're gonna paint in red. Now you can, I mean, this comes with red and silver, but you could paint it whatever colors you wanted to. You know, whatever works for you. If you like green, you can do green. If you like red and green, you could do red and green. Whatever works best for your decor is what you could do here. So now I'm going to take some red and I'm going to paint the rest of this. Now we will have to, again, we'll have to do a coat or well, 2 coats at least for the red, because red does not cover real well. And again, I'm just trimming it right up to that silver. What are y'all up to today? Yes, Bridget. Yes, just the sign and the stand. The rest of it does not need to be painted. All right, I think that in the actual ones, like I said, this one's a sample because I haven't actually, we've not put these together yet. Y'all are going to need more red paint than this, so we'll make sure to provide that. This is kind of like I'm testing it out myself to make sure everything goes smoothly. All right, let's try it. Hey, Nancy. Oh, fun, Mary Lou. I hope you had a good time. I was just sharing that I did that yesterday. My niece was here yesterday. And she's 9 months old. So I was busy yesterday doing all the things. She was good. She was really good. She let me get a little bit of work done. I did some planning on a project that's going to be coming soon. That I'm super excited about. I know y'all are going to love. All right. Hey, Lynn, I'm glad to see you today. Okay, so that's 2 coats. I'm going to do one last coat with the red because the red just doesn't cover real well. And we should be good on the base. We'll be ready to go. You could always use some tape and tape off that little silver part if you're uncomfortable trimming in. I get that. You could always just tape that off. All right. Okay, so our base has been painted. Okay, we're going to set that aside. Now, I'm going to take this little finial here. Oh my goodness, Mary. He, I'm sure, had you running all over the place. Okay, you've also got a little dowel rod in your kit. I'm going to use this to help me paint this guy, and we're just going to paint it in silver. Now, again, you could paint this whatever color you want to. Maybe you want to paint it red. Maybe you want to paint it green. Maybe you want to do kind of a bluish color to make it look kind of like glass. You could use the mother of pearl paint. or whatever it's called, and give it a pearlized look. You know, you could do lots and lots of things, but I decided to go silver with this. This is Silver Morning, and again, that is provided inside your box. Putting the dowel in just makes it easier. This is $24.99, and it comes with everything you need. It will also come with a QR code to the tutorial as well. Everything you need except for basics like paintbrush, scissors, glue. And white paint. White paint is not included. Teresa, we are making the mini DIY decor box today. So we are painting it up, teaching y'all how to put it together. So this covers really well in 2 coats. Just like that. Okay. Let's dry that, and then we're going to move on to the stand. Look how easy this is. Okay, it looks so good painted in that metallic. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, now we're going to do our stand. So you've got 3 poles, okay? And you have 1 pole that doesn't have any little pegs on it. See how this one has these pegs? So one does not. This one is the bottom, and this one goes, the little part that sticks out is going to go down. Okay, we're going to glue these together. All right, I don't have any super glue, so I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue because I'm out of super glue, but I recommend using super glue for this. Okay, then you've got 2 pieces that have little pegs on them. You're going to put these together, and you will see the one that's got the pegs closer to the top is the middle. And then the one that's got the pegs more towards the middle is the top one, and you'll see at the top. Okay, you want that round hole at the top. So I'm just going to use a bit of hot glue here just to kind of tack this down. Like I said, super glue is the best for this. We'll just tack that down. And then the one that's got the round hole is going to go on the top. You want to make sure your pegs are lined up so that they're on the same side, okay? Because that's how we're going to attach our sign. So you want to make sure those are on the same side. All right. Okay. So we've got our stand, our pole put together. Now we want to put some, and this has also been spray painted, okay? We want to put some candy cane like stripe on here. Now you could leave it plain if you wanted to. We're going to do some candy cane stripe. Now I am going to provide you with some tape. That was not in the original pictures and everything, but there is going to be some tape provided. And we're just going to put this tape on. And I just start all the way at the bottom and just put it at an angle, whatever kind of angle you feel like. The deeper the angle, the less of the stripe you will have. And then we're just going to start wrapping this around. I'm just pulling it tight. In that case, I pulled it too tight. Let's try that again. Jesselyn's making spaghetti. Sounds good. Love me some spaghetti. The girls and I had Fazoli's the other day. We went to, when we were out and about, we went to Fazoli's, and I just love Fazoli's. I just love it. I think their spaghetti is one of my favorite spaghettis. I don't know why. Some of y'all probably think that's crazy, but it's the truth. So I'm just pulling this tight. We're just going all the way around. Until we get to the top. Now, when you go over the pegs, you don't have to worry too much if you get any kind of spreading or bleeding underneath, because you're going to have that sign that's going to be going right there, so it's going to cover that up. You want to try your best to kind of keep that angle, keep that distance the same with each wrap. Okay. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to go around and make sure this is well adhered. And then we're just going to paint this with our red. So we'll paint the gap. Teresa, they are doing well. I don't know if y'all can see that. They're doing very good. Both of them are doing good. Griffin goes back to the doctor on Monday. Andrew goes next week on Thursday, I think. All right, so I do need more red paints. I know that y'all are probably gonna need 2 of these containers of red. Okay, so we're just gonna paint that stripe. Now you could do this with a pouncer as well if you wanted to, which is going to cover faster that way if you use a pouncer. I'm just gonna use a brush and just brush this on. Ugh, I love spaghetti. I really do. It is one of my favorites. When made right, I will say that. I am a little picky about my spaghetti. But, you know, pasta is pasta, and I like all pasta, so. But like I said, I do love Fazoli's spaghetti. It is definitely a favorite of mine. And their breadsticks. Holy moly, their breadsticks are incredible. And y'all, with all of these pieces, a question that we get a lot is, does the paint stick? I think that it seems, you know, it's just kind of goes against what we know. But the material that this is made out of, it does accept paint. And I think part of the reason why it accepts paint so well is because it's porous. It's not like plastic where it doesn't have any, you know, gaps in it. This is porous, so it accepts the paint beautifully. And any of our DIY darlings that are watching can tell you it paints like a dream, honestly. And oh my goodness, black. If you go to paint any of these pieces with black, it's the most satisfying thing you've ever done. Maybe not, but it is very satisfying. All right, so we got that one coat. Let's do a second coat. We had tacos tonight. Yesterday we had chicken parmesan and spaghetti. You know, I've never made chicken parmesan. I don't even know if I've ever ordered it out and about. We had last night beef broccoli noodles, like an Asian beef and broccoli noodles. They were good. Actually, they also had green beans because I didn't have enough broccoli. So I added a bag of frozen green beans as well. Bridget says it does. These earbuds pick up so well. I can't make out what he's saying or anything. Just hear him. I know, Lynn. Yeah, he's right above me. He's, I think, playing with a friend. I think he's on FaceTime or on a video game with a friend or something. Jesus loves you too, Briley. Danae made chicken parmesan last night. All right, so we're going in with the second coat here. So this is, we want to make sure this is covered pretty good and looks good. Well, now he's like knocking or something, and that's really annoying. Don't know what he's doing, but it's really annoying. Can you all hear that? Do you, Bridget? So we were just, Andrew and I were at the store and we were like, we need some vegetables. So we went to the frozen section because honestly, our life is so crazy that sometimes we don't get a chance to cook dinner. And so it's good to have the frozen ones because we can just make them really fast, and it's good to have them on hand. They don't go bad. But it's hard to find vegetables you could just make a veggie and the kids, Griffin and Andrew like. So I was like, let's try green beans, which I love green beans. I love green beans any way you can get them. I don't care. Andrew's a little more picky about them. But they were really good in the Asian meal. I really liked them, and I think Griffin ate them too. All right, so I'm going, drying this, and then I'll probably do another layer as well. I'm very picky. I make my own homemade sauce. I can't eat jarred sauce or Olive Garden. Oh, wow, Nancy. So what do you put in your homemade sauce? Is it a sauce that you cook for hours, or there's so many ways to make it, right? You know, I feel like I do it different every time. I don't have a homemade sauce recipe. I usually buy a jarred sauce and then I doctor it up. Green beans and corn. We got corn. Griffin doesn't like corn all that much though. Andrew and I love it. I don't like canned corn though. I only like frozen corn or fresh corn. Y'all, let me tell you a secret. Okay, I can tell you this because the secret's coming out this afternoon, this evening. Andrew and I have some fun plans this evening. So Griffin's birthday's next week, and he doesn't know it. What he knows is that Andrew goes every year to a Bengals football game. What he doesn't know is that this year he is going, and he's been asking, we've been lying. That's not very nice, but we've been lying. And he's going this year to the game, and he's finding out tonight. We're going out to dinner, and we've got a couple of little gifts for him. The game's this weekend, so he's, you know, getting his birthday gift early. But it's going to be exciting. I'm excited about it. All right, y'all, I think that I am done. Okay. You call it gravy? I like that. Although I'm Southern, so gravy means something completely different. Okay. So now everything is painted and we can put this together. All right. I'm going to clean my hands so that I don't get red paint on everything. Jeslyn, vegetables are hard. They're really hard. I know, Teresa. He's going to be excited. Yes, delicious, Bridget. Absolutely. Now, I don't know how Griffin feels about that, about green beans cooked that way, because he's used to Southern green beans that's like, you know, cooked all day, not all day, but cooked for a long time with bacon and, you know, they're soft. He's not used to crunchy green beans. So I don't know if he likes them like that or not, but he will eat asparagus. Doesn't love it. And he will eat broccolini and broccoli and carrots raw or cooked in a roast. That is it. Okay. Shoot, it's not dry. Oh, wow, that's a whole thing, Nancy. You like it sweet? Oh, sounds delicious. Next time you make it, you can invite me over, okay? I like it a little sweet too. Not sweet, but I do like it when it's got a little bit of sugar in it. All right. Let's remove our tape to reveal our, I got a couple of runs. Gosh, I didn't do a very good job. I will say if you use a pouncer, you get less runs than if you use a paintbrush. I did a terrible job there. Okay, let's see here. All right, that looks pretty good. I am going to touch this up a bit more. And then we're going to start putting this together. All right. Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to start with my finial here, and I want to cut my finial down so that, you see that? So we want to cut it down because it only needs to be a little bit. I'm going to use wire cutters to do that, or you could use these things, whatever you have, wire cutters, these, whatever you have. It doesn't need to be very long, like a half an inch or so. I'm going to try that and see if that does it. So you got extra, you don't need that much. This might still be too much. Yep, still too much. So we'll cut off a little bit more. Well, that is definitely crooked. that works. Nope, not quite. Might should have just used my wire cutters. All right, let's try it now. Okay, so basically you just want to make sure that it sits flat on top of the pole. Okay, and then you can just use your super glue to adhere it. Super glue works better. Hot glue, the space is too small for the hot glue. And so if you're going to use hot glue, you just want to do it on the top surface, not inside the hole. Oh, really, Rose? Well, I'll tell you, it works great for dowels. It doesn't work good for flat items like popsicle sticks. So that's something that I've learned about it. But the dowels, it works really good for. Okay, there we go. So look at that. There's our North Pole. Then we have our sign. I'm just going to dry this a little bit. Make sure that it's dry where I touched it up. Okay, and this is going to go on these little pegs right here, okay? So we are going to apply some glue right to this. Now here I would use super glue, but again, I'm out, so I'm not going to use super glue. Press that on. You may have to take a little hammer and give it a tappity tap, tap, tap to get it all the way on there. And there's our sign. Yeah, flat sticks, it does not cut. It does not cut flat sticks. It's got to be dowels. I agree. I noticed that and I was like, well, I don't like that. And then I used it with a dowel and I was like, oh, okay, that works. That works. All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to apply glue just to this flat surface. Now, if you're using super glue, you can just put it in the hole and then press that in. And there's our little sign. And then you also have a ribbon, and we're going to add a bow to this because everything's better with a bow. So I'm just going to make a bow. I'm going to go make a loop. This is just like tying your shoestrings, okay? Most of you probably are fine. There are some people who aren't great with tying bows, so I do like to just share. So imagine you're tying your shoe. Both ends are a different end of your shoestring, okay? So you're going to take one end and you're going to loop it, and the opposite end, you're going to swoop it and then pull through, just like you would if you're tying your shoe, okay? And then you've got your bow. Now, this is what that looks like after the first try. So we're going to mess with it a bit in order to make it look better. Okay, so we want to pull on the tails and adjust things so that we get a nice, pretty bow. Okay, it's never going to look fabulous on that first try. All right, and then you've got plenty there, so you can cut the excess. All right. So we've got a cute little bow, and we're going to glue this right to the bottom of the little finial on the top, or what is that called on like an actual North Pole? It's like an, I want to say an orb, but I don't know. It's like a glass ball. So I'm just going to do a little dot of hot glue and just glue it right below. And there is our little mini North Pole sign. So you can see this is an easy tutorial. This is an easy craft that you can do with a group of people. And, you know, I used spray paint, but you can use acrylic paint as well. So it's something you could do sitting at a table. You don't even need the hot glue. So it's something you can do without hot glue guns, which makes it that much easier to have a class or do a craft night, because you don't need to have the hot glue. You can use super glue. You could even use just a glue dot to put the bow on, so you don't have to use any kind of hot glue. You don't have to have anything plugged in. That is easy peasy, y'all. And all you need to provide are some scissors for them to cut their ribbons and some paint brushes. And that's it. Everything else is provided. Your glue, you can provide the little bottles of super glue that come at the Dollar Tree. You can also buy them in bulk on Amazon. Okay? So you can do lots of things, and you can paint this however you want. Connie, yes, you can paint it however you want. So you could do, like, if you're in, I don't know if you're in our DIY Darlings group or not, but you can take some of those same tutorials and use them on this. You could paint it and give it a faux distress so that it looks like wood. You can even paint it and distress it as well. So if you wanted to paint it something different other than white, you can paint that first layer and then you can go back, paint a second layer and distress it. You could also paint the first layer, use some wax on it, then go back and do the second layer and distress it. You can do that with the raised area as well if you wanted. So instead of using the pouncer to achieve this look on the raised area, you could paint the whole thing, paint it a second color, distress it. So all of the raised area is going to show up when you distress it, okay? Or you could do the same thing if maybe you just wanted to paint the whole thing green and then just distress it, and you're going to have the white showing through. There are a million and one things and ways that you could do this. So you do not have to do it whimsical red and white like I did it. You can paint it whatever colors you want to paint it. You can make it look like metal. You can make it look like enamelware. I mean, have fun with it. Get creative, y'all. There's so many things that you could do. But y'all, it's already ready for you and comes with everything you need. So have fun with it, y'all. Make sure you grab yours. These are only available through Friday. Okay, through Friday. It ends on Friday, so you want to make sure that you grab yours before then, because after that, the pre-order is over with. Okay, these are a pre-order. They will ship out in November. The second week of November is when they will ship out. Okay, so not too far from now. It is already the 22nd, so that's just a few weeks away, y'all. Just a few weeks away. Okay, so there we have it. Thank you all so much for watching and for joining. Make sure you grab your DIY decor box, your mini DIY decor box. It is a one-time box, no commitment, $25, $24.99, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. All right, y'all. Have an amazing evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everyone.